Over the last 2 decades, our next guest has lent her golden voice to some of the era's greatest hits. Now she's back with a new record, and her music remains incomparable.
Here to tell us about her 8th album, Imcomparable, and her career as the original R&B diva is the one and only Faith Evans.
Faith Evans!
Welcome to Arise.
Thank you for having me.
How do you do? You look amazing.
Yes.
Thank you. You do as well.
Incomparable.
Thank you. Thank you.
Black doesn't crack. That's all I'll say.
So let's talk about this amazing career that you've had. Platinum albums, Grammys, you've toured the world. What's been the highlight of your career?
So far, it's been the release of this new album.
Really?
Because, I mean, I am just really proud, really excited that it's finally out, and my fans are getting a chance to hear it, and they seem to feel as good about it as I do. But see, I've been living with it for like 2 years, you know.
Well, let me say that lead-off single, the video, it's very inspiring, good energy. But let's talk Incomparable. What can listeners overall expect?
It is a well-rounded collection of good R&B music. I mean, my goal was just to record nothing but great records, and I'm very happy with it. I mean, it's actually a conceptual project in that it sort of tells the story of my love life post-divorce and me kind of getting back into dating and, you know.
There seems to be a youthful zest in there, too, though. Something really youthful.
Well, yeah, I guess so. You know, I don't know, maybe it has something to do with, like, you know, the fact that younger guys seem to be trying to, like, you know, holler at me now that I'm divorced.
Oh, okay, do tell.
But my kids keep me young.
We want to hear about that, Faith. So what's it like being in the dating world?
It's
Are you on Tinder,
different.
OkCupid, any of those things? No, you don't do the online thing.
Oh no, I would never do.
Word of mouth referrals for maybe a date here or there?
Not really. I mean, I'm an energy person, you know, and I'll be like, oh, somebody has a good spirit. And I mean, you know, those are the type of people I like to be around, even as friends. You know, so it would, you know, certainly take someone just kind of making their way into that place by having a good spirit, a good energy, and a love and fear of God. And, you know, typically that's the type of person that can get in that space with me.
Fellas, you got it. You got the team.
Height requirements, anything like that?
I don't really have...
Good teeth, good credit, anything like that?
Oh, yes. I'm very, very into good dental hygiene.
Okay.
That's a turn-off if, you know, that's definitely a turn-off, bad dental hygiene. But I don't really have, like, a type other than, you know, the character, you know? You know, I can't really pick, oh, I want them to be this height and have this much money and da-da-da. You know, I just kind of go with when I feel like, okay, this is a good feeling that I have. You know, I'm going to go with it.
Okay. Now back to the music. We pried enough in your personal life. Let's talk about the music.
I love it. Well, let's talk about your sound. It's, you know, on some level, I think as a fan, classic Faith. You know, as long as you're doing that, as long as that voice is doing what it does and it continues to do that, it's a great thing. But do you find that your sound has evolved over the years?
Oh, absolutely.
Talk about that.
I feel like my voice is certainly, it has a lot more depth. And I mean, I'm just a lot freer with, you know, what I do. I mean, in the beginning of my career, especially my first 2 albums, I was, you know, just transitioning from being a church girl. I mean, I sang in a lot of other places other than church, but I mean, I was still singing and actively singing in church when I got my first deal. And so to make records that weren't, you know, a lot of my people that knew me from church were like, oh, you're not singing like you do in church. And I would be like, well, I'm making a record. I'm not in church.
That's right.
And I think I was kind of holding back. I can hear a lot of it in my older records. Like I sound like I'm holding something back. And I probably was, you know, trying to just figure out what was the right way to translate all of that gospel that was up in me and, you know, make it fit into this R&B music. But at this point, I mean, I'm very fearless when it comes to that. I don't really, you know, if I want to try something that's outside of the genre of R&B or gospel, you know, I'll do that and not be afraid to do that on my record.
That's amazing.
We should take a look at the video.
Okay, we have a clip.
Yeah, I deserve it.
I deserve it.
Let's take a look.
Featuring Missy Elliott and Sharaya.
You gotta love me good, or I'll find another man who will, baby. Oh, the best 'cause I deserve it. Just hold me down and we gotta be perfect. 'Cause a girl like me is worth it.
Oh, we jammed
I love that.
That was fun.
Wait, so how did you get Missy back in the studio?
Well, you know what? crossed my fingers, said a prayer, rolled the dice.
Yes.
No, but Missy and I go back. She actually, when she was a up and coming songwriter, she used to stay in my apartment from time to time in Manhattan. Instead of staying in hotels. So we had a relationship, and I was like, let me reach out to Missy, because this song to me, I always heard Missy being on this record. So I found out that Sheraya J was her new artist, and I had just recently become a fan of hers. And I'm like, you know what, Missy, I got this song, and I think it'll be good if you and your artist get on it,
Yes.
And next thing I knew, I had a hit record.
Yes, you do. Now, Miss Faith Evans, I have to say this. 20 years ago, we met on the set of the You Used to Love Me video, and I was one of the cops
so funny
in the
hear
rescue
you say
scene.
that.
Like, we have a video.
No. Don't blink.
Do we have it?
No. But absolutely. So just to see you here these 20 years later is amazing for me. So I just want to thank you for doing all that you do.
Oh, thank you.
Talk about, you mentioned that gospel girl and what you have to do to sort of reconcile that sound to today. Do you have thoughts of doing gospel music?
Oh, yeah. I still, every one of my albums has at least one song, if not more than that have an inspirational message. And that's not even something that I purposely set out to do. It just always ends up being that way.
It's in you.
I've done so many features with gospel artists. There's Karen Clark Sheard is on this new album, one inspirational song. I'm on her new album as well. I'm on a record with J Moss, who's a gospel artist. So I'm still very, I think, accepted and respected in the gospel world, even though I'm not a gospel artist. But I one day do want to do a full gospel record. And, I wanted to do it probably 2 albums ago, but I'm kind of glad I didn't. I think I want to wait until it just feels like, okay, this is the right time. It's just something I guess I'll feel in my spirit.
Sure. I think you've got some more hey.
That's what
I'm thinking.
I definitely got a few more party jams in me and some more baby making music.
Well, speaking of baby making. But Faith, talk to us about that golden era of music, Bad Boy. I mean, songs still come on in the clubs and everybody just get pumped. What was it like for you to be in the middle of all of that? I mean, that was
a lot of fun.
Motown.
It was fun, and I can honestly say I had no idea that I was a part of, such a huge movement. I mean, I knew it was something special just based on the feeling while things were going on. But to be honest, we were so busy having fun, But thankfully I'm blessed to still be here making music and, those things that I may not have paid so much attention to back then that I should have while I was having fun. Now, I'm able to apply those things now.
When we were on the set of the video 20 years ago, Biggie was there.
Yeah, Big did do a cameo in that video.
Can you talk about what you remember most about him?
His sense of humor.
Yeah.
Which, I think that's something that everyone that ever came into contact with him can certainly say. Like, he was certainly one of the funniest people, always had jokes, which I guess reflects the part of his personality that just kind of wanted to, make everybody happy or see everybody having a good time.
Absolutely.
And let's talk about The King and I.
Yes.
Tell us about that project.
The King and I is an album that I've been thinking of doing for many years. I told Miss Wallace probably 10 years ago that one day I want to do an album with just me and Big. And things finally aligned themselves to where I'm in the process of working out a deal to do that album. So that will be my next album, a duet album with myself and Big.
Real quick, let's talk R&B divas. You came, you saw, you exited, but you are still the boss, our executive producer.
I am an executive producer.
Talk about what drew you to the project and why you walked away.
What drew me to the project was me being able to help provide a platform for other women in R&B music.
And you did that.
Who people may not know so much about as outside of their songs that they like.
Yeah.
Nikki Gilbert, who's my good friend, came to me with the idea and asked me to help her flush it out and, help her get it sold. And we were successful in doing that. Once our creative input wasn't really being honored, that was, pretty much when things started to change. But I never, initially it wasn't my plan to be a cast member. I just really wanted to be an EP, but I did relent to do that in order to sell the show. So it really wasn't a big deal for me to not be on the TV, because I'm really not, that wasn't my biggest deal in life. Like, I just want to be on the TV.
Would you ever do reality again?
Yes, I would. I'm actually working on developing a few other reality and scripted projects, one of which, is based on me and my friends and my crazy shenanigans that I go through in trying to balance all the things that I have on my plate with the people that helped me do it, you know.
Well, we cannot wait to watch. Please come again anytime.
Thank you, ma'am.
Here, Miss Faith.
And congratulations. God bless you and the baby.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And you're watching Rise Entertainment 360. Faith Evans.